Hello there, my name's Paul Haas. I'm a physiotherapist with Bounce Health Group, and today we have Nick Meffin over here.
Hello, how you going?
Nick is actually my patient for the day, but he's also a physiotherapist. Okay, we're talking about Achilles taping today, the standard Achilles taping for people who have Achilles problems, for kids who have some growth plate soreness that has been checked out by a health professional and deemed that taping is going to be okay for that kid. Also for some calf tightness, some arch problems, so this taping sort of works for a number of things. Before we do that, the couple of things we have to talk about is what we're going to use and how we deal with different types of skin. So some people have irritable skin that requires different products like our Fixamal here. Okay, so Fixamal is a non-allergenic tape that can go under our standard rigid tape, which those trainers will be familiar with. We can also use things like Skin Prep, which is basically something that helps the tape stick, and then we've got something even more aggressive, which is our ball grip, which is another product from Alpha Sport, which you can use to make the tape really stick. But if you're taping a lot and you use this to make it stick, sometimes the skin can become irritable. So generally we put a protective film on, like a Coloplast film underneath that, which protects the skin. So you can put that on first, then this, and then your tape. The other option you can use is underwrap, also known as whooshy tape, and the underwraps, although it does protect the skin, the tape that sits on top of that is allowed to move, so it's not a great thing in terms of providing stability, which is what this taping technique is for. So basically they're the things you can use. If it was me, I'd probably just rub a little bit of Coloplast on first, and then if it was just for one or two taping techniques, I would just then apply the rigid tape, and I wouldn't get too stressed about Skin Prep and things like that. Okay, so let's get to it. I'll get Nick. Nick's going to lie on his stomach for me, which is a position you need your athlete in to do the Achilles taping technique. Okay, so we'll just apply a bit of this film to protect Nick's skin. So like any taping technique around the ankle and other parts of the body, we need to start with a couple of anchors. So we need a fixation point for our tape. Okay, so basically we apply two anchors, and for those of you who haven't used Coloplast, it is quite a toxic thing to smell. So a bit like metho, so I'm just coughing here. My eyes are watering, so just be wary of the Coloplast. Okay, so you've got a couple of anchors here, just like we do with our standard strapping technique. The thing is though with this Achilles taping is we need to actually have an anchor down the bottom as well. So basically we have an anchor along the midfoot here, and you can apply one or two anchors just based on what you feel is comfortable and works for you. Okay, so we've got an anchor and anchor. Now the whole thing with this is we want to stop the Achilles going through its full range of motion. So generally what we do with that is we need to put some tape through here to block that movement, which then protects these structures like the Achilles, like the bursa here, like the actual growth plate if it was a child, those sorts of things. So, and also restricts the calf, so it gives it a break. So what I'm going to start with is this taping from the top anchor to the bottom, which is a straight taping. The trick with this is not to have the foot too floppy, but to bring it up just a little bit, not to be too far up or you're going to lose that ability to actually hold that joint tight, but about mid-range. So I'll keep nicking about that mid-range position there. Okay, so our first tape we effectively we apply the tape, okay, and I've just gone off to the left-hand side of Nick's calcaneum or heel bone, and then we apply another one just next to that and just off to the right. Okay, so now it really depends on what your athlete does. If your athlete's a ruckman in AFL or Aussie rules, you're probably going to have to apply a stack of these because these guys do some serious load through their heels, and they might rip one or two, so you might need to do some more. Same if you're looking after like a gymnast who punches vaults and things like that, you do need a few of these to make sure that it does sort of hold up. So anyway, I've applied 3 there for Nick. Now what I also like to do, just for additional support and control, is if I'm going to start on, if it's Nick's left leg, I'll start on the outside, so to the left of his left leg, up the top, and I'm going to come around and I'm going to apply a little bit of the tape over the heel but off to the side, and when I come down I'm going to come and rotate again, finish on the left, start on the left, bow around the heel and end back up on the left again. And that's quite good. That applies a bit of rotational control and support and rigidness. And the same on the opposite side. So Nick's left leg on the right hand side, the inside, coming down a little bit on the top of the heel, okay, but more right around the side, and then we land up on the inside of the up to the sort of that ball of the foot there, okay, the midfoot, okay, and you can repeat that 2 or 3 times for additional control, okay, and I'll just do those 2 now, just so that you see, but you could do 2 or 3 and 2 or 3 of the other, and then like a lot of our other taping techniques, we then lock off the anchors again. Now what you can do as well is you can apply, because we need something sometimes to hold this tape from flicking up, you can anchor a bit lower. Sort of like, you know, the tendons in your wrist where you need anchors to not let them bow up. Same with this, we're not letting this bow up, so we're applying this tape. You can even add another one here if it is a bit sort of wanting to come up. So that's Achilles technique for strapping. You generally then ask your patient to stand up and to do a little bit of lunging to see how restrictive it is. For people who haven't had it before, they won't like it, and that's normal. And you just tell them to be quiet and run away and see how they go for 15 minutes, because it does stretch tape. Tape stretches about 15-20% after about half an hour. And you get them back, and if it is still too tight, then you'll know next time to do a little bit, have the foot a little bit looser. If they don't feel the effect, then you have to do the foot a bit tighter so that it does achieve the goal that you're after. And if your patient continues to have problems, then you send it to a health professional like a physiotherapist. So I hope that's all makes sense, and good luck Achilles taping. See you then.